Hey everyone, it's KillerKingKevin, and in today's video I want to talk about special weather conditions and abilities in Fortnite that could definitely be added in Chapter 2, Season 3 to make the season much more enjoyable, or I guess more surprising for players to enjoy. These conditions would randomly occur during the game for all the players around the map, and it would be interesting to see how it would affect the gameplay for these players. Before I move on, I made a new Star Wars meme video, so if you like funny Fortnite content with memes and edits, subscribe to my other channel for that content. So Williambash was the one who made these concepts, and I totally love these concepts, but I just don't want Fortnite to randomly add all these weather effects and special abilities in one game. It's something that should rarely happen in a game, which to an extent makes people excited about the game or makes them want to play in these conditions. So I'm going to go through all the weather conditions that William made, and there's quite a lot, so I'll explain all the weather conditions and what they actually do on the map. Additionally, I'll even talk about how often Fortnite should add these things on the map if they ever did something like this in the future. So first up we have rain, and all players have decreased visibilities, rivers are a lot faster, and players fall down slopes faster. Now there's chances written for all of them, but I feel like Fortnite should just figure it out themselves, and these weather conditions shouldn't be for every single game. They should rarely happen, I guess once every 10 games or once every 5 games, depending on what Fortnite does, and then depending on what chance it actually is or what condition it is, it should happen even rarer. So something like the solar eclipse should happen, I guess 1 in 20 games or 1 in 30 games compared to rain. So as I said, we have rain, then we have the meteor shower. Meteors will periodically rain onto the island, leaving behind either a loot star or a hop rock, which is super cool. Lightning, every 5 to 15 seconds, lightning will strike the highest prop / structure on the island, destroying everything in a 2-tile radius. Players will receive an on-screen warning if they're at risk. You have the Sandstorm and Snowstorm. I think we've had that, not the Sandstorm but the Snowstorm. You have decreased visibility, and they receive 1 damage every 5 seconds unless they have a roof over their head. Brute Wreck, a brute from Athena will fall to the island. Players can search the wreckage for a common quad launcher, epic drum shotgun, and maybe even a visitor tape. Now I was kind of scared because I thought it would be like an actual brute, but it's a brute wreck, so it does make sense. Storm Tornado, a tornado will spawn in a POI, completely destroying it, and will move across the map until the 3rd storm phase. Players can use the tornado to fly across the island. You've got the solar eclipse. The moon is in front of the sun, blocking all light, and everyone starts off with a torch. That's, to me, it's like the coolest one. Windy day, projectiles will arc in a specific direction, and you can see that on the minimap. Slurp rain, the pollution from Slurpy Swamp is somewhat paying off, as it's raining slurp juice, giving all players 1 shield per second. So these are all the weather and special abilities that would happen on the map. Now I do have to say that these conditions are for the whole entire duration. I'm pretty sure that's what William meant, but I would rather have them happen at a portion throughout your game. So maybe at the 5-minute mark, 10-minute mark. It could be it could definitely be random. It could happen at the start of the game or at the end of the game, but it should be random. It shouldn't just start from the start, because then you're making players play throughout the whole game having that condition, and that's what I kind of don't want. You know, it should be at a rare spot or random spot in your game. Moving on, we have Drought. The sun is extra bright today, causing all rivers, pools, and lakes to evaporate. Stormfall, the storm is a lot lower than usual, meaning that the 2nd storm phase onward, there'll be a lowering storm ceiling like Air Royale. And that's actually pretty cool because it makes people, I guess, stay lower and lower and lower, to the point where you can only build, I guess, a wall, or you would start taking storm damage. Then you have the flood. Up until the 2nd storm phase, the sea level will rise until approximately a 1/3 of the island is underwater. Doesn't happen if the storm circle is in a low area, and that would be like lava, like the lava's rising, but in this case you would just be swimming everywhere. Space-time collapse. The fabric of space-time falls into disarray, causing junk rifts to randomly spawn in the sky, depositing junk and weapons everywhere, as well as rifting away buildings and props. Taco rain. Over the time, spicy tacos will fall from the sky near players, prioritizing the players with the last health or furthest from the storm eye. I wouldn't really make it prioritizing, because you don't want people to have a advantage. All these weather conditions should be random and happen randomly to anyone, because you want to keep it, I guess, fair for everyone. So having Taco Rain is completely fine, but prioritizing other people is, I guess, a no-no. Especially, like, I wouldn't like it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people won't like that. Hailstorm after phase 2. Hail will fall on the map, damaging, exposing structures and props. Buildings on the island by default are unaffected. And then you have some of the things that I forgot. Slurp Rain will only heal you if there's nothing above you, and Sandstorm will have tornadoes that launch you like cube craters. And finally, William also made an LTM. It's called Freak Weather LTM, and in this LTM all these conditions are happening, and there's at least 2 to 3 at once. So that would be pretty cool, and an LTM does seem like really interesting. But if they added it in random games, as I said, it should be like completely random and a low chance for all of them. And at once there should only be one, I guess, weather conditions. I guess they could do 2 to 3 or 4. They could have all the weather conditions as long as they just randomly meet up, and that would be pretty insane. They'll probably lag out everyone's games, but that would be pretty insane. So let me know your thoughts on what you think about these weather conditions, and maybe you have an idea for one of these weather conditions. So I hope this video does help. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video.